Hi, my name's Anthony, and this is the Anthony Montgomery channel. This week we have a lot of fun projects going on, and what I do is a little hard to describe because I do so many different things. So I'm gonna go through my schedule that I have sort of penciled in. Tomorrow I got to pick up some anchor bolts, bring them out to the flip house because they are pouring concrete first thing in the morning. So that's gonna be a cool thing. And then I got to get a spot ready for a 40-foot sea can that should be getting delivered tomorrow as well. Then on Wednesday I'm picking up a demo excavator because we are buying a Cat 303.5. They're gonna let me demo a 303 for a week, and then we're gonna go do a sewer install at the house that we're building, as well as burying some conduit for the electrical on Wednesday. Thursday I haven't penciled in yet, and then Friday I have penciled in for another sewer install. So that is hopefully what we accomplish this week. That's a nice truck. I think just got the machine loaded up and he's about to roll out. It's a nice looking rig, ain't it? Got all the flagging on it, lined it down on all the corners. All right, we're over here at our flip house and we got the concrete truck over here pouring concrete into the garage because we're going to bring the garage concrete up to the same height as the rest of the house so that we can include it in the living square footage. They're out of here.
Dead, huh? Maybe come in some more.
Here. The guys handled up on the concrete this morning at the flip house, which is great. I just went and did a couple of walkthroughs for some equipment services that need to be done in the coming weeks, so that's nice. We got some work going on. I need to load up those 2x8s to bring back out to the flip house as well, because we got to frame up that garage door wall. We're going to frame it with 2x8s, which is a lot thicker than your standard wall, but that will make it flush on the inside and the outside. And right now I'm about to clear out a spot for a sea can that's about to get delivered, so we're going to set it up on the other side of that truck and trailer. I have this spot right here that I started cleaning out a couple of weeks ago. This is where we're going to set the sea can. It's going to be running long ways like this. I'm going to move this truck out of the way. I'm going to load this stuff up, and I'm going to take the skid steer and carefully try to remove all the rock, and then we're going to have them drop off the container right here. And it's a 40-foot container, so it's pretty long. these trees as possible. there we go. It's been moved. And this looks a lot better. It's kind of squared off with this tree line. I want to get rid of that tallow anyway, so. So now that I have the sea can unloaded and in place, it's time to go ahead and load up the sewer system and get ready for our job tomorrow. I got a few extra 2x4s for framing up the forms for the concrete, and then I have a whole bunch of pipe over here that I need to go through and put some of that on the trailer so that we can run our tail line from the sewer system out to the ditch. Got all this stuff. We got some 20-foot sticks of SDR 21, which is Schedule 40 equivalent with bell ends on it. So I think we need about 120 feet of that. We'll go ahead and load up everything that we need for the sewer job tomorrow. And then I gotta go pick up the excavator from Baton Rouge first thing in the morning and then head out to the job to install everything. I got a slow start today. I woke up early, went to the gym, and everything was on schedule, but I did have to do a few extra things. Like I had to go run and grab some conduit for the electrician Jay so that he would have everything that we needed to bury the electrical. So I had to go run by the supply house, pick up some conduit and a couple of fittings and things like that. Now I'm at the cat dealership. We just got the mini excavator loaded up and ready to go. I need to tighten down this strap because I just lowered that. And then we're headed to the job, which I was hoping to be there around 9. It's almost 10 o'clock already. So I'll probably be getting there like 10:30, 10:45. So today the goal is to install the sewer system, bury all of the electrical conduit for the electrical service going to this house. We're also going to bury a 3/4 inch conduit for the island so that we can put electrical inside the island once we're at that phase in the future. Our drain is over there, so we need all this to connect. So we got all this pipe right here in this trench needs to get backfilled. So I have that pile of sand right there. That'll be the first thing I do. I'll get the machine up here, I'll scoop that, and I'll backfill this trench right here. And then we'll break the trench over there to drain that water out, hopefully. This mud is sticky. So we got our 3 to 4 adapter, a clean out 22 degree to get it a little bit farther away from the dog kennel, and then we might be able to just run it straight, or we might 22 it back. We'll see. elbow going that way. Need to move the trench over a little bit so it'll fit in there. So we swapped the bucket to the 24-inch bucket. He's digging over there, having way too much fun. We got the tank over here, and he is now digging the hole for it. I'm gonna just set this up to time lapse while he digs that hole. So what I'm working on here today is Miss Susan's house. Me and Jay are working together on getting this constructed. He's a GC. I own an air conditioning company. We do dirt work. We also install the sewer. I'm lining up all the subs for his concrete. We do a lot. We do a lot. So anyway, we're working together on a lot of this. And right now, this phase of the job that we're doing today is going to net me $6,000. That's how much I'm billing for this. So today is $6,000 worth of work. We have the sewer system, the tank's over there. We got all of our pipe and fittings. The tank itself costs $1,800 after tax. And then all the pipe and fittings that go with it brings the total material cost to $2,500. Now, generally I have to also rent out an excavator, but right now I'm in the process of purchasing one, which is pretty much $1,000 a month to own that machine. So I do got to factor that into the overhead cost. Generally, the $2,500 is the material cost for the sewer system. I typically sell that for $5,000. Today on this job, I'm charging $6,000 because I was also responsible for digging out all of the footers for this foundation and burying the electrical conduit from the house to that pole out there. So a little bit of extra work, hence the upcharge. So that puts my profit today at $6,000 minus the $2,500 I have in materials. So $3,500 for the day. So that's a really good day. Now, once we get done with this today, I'm actually going to drop this excavator off at another job, which I'm charging $1,200 for tomorrow. So I'm excited to go get this one set up on site so I don't have to drive my truck and trailer out. That could end up being a 2-day job at $1,200 per day. Let me look and see how he's doing. Got time to put some sand and level the bottom of this hole and get the sewer system actually put down in there. Looks like he's digging kind of deep. All right, so we got the system in the ground, which is great. We got our 4-inch pipe, a couple of 22s. I really don't like putting 90s or anything on this main line coming in because you got turds coming down and you don't want them getting clogged up. I was planning on shooting it straight, but she wanted to not have to move her dog yard over there, so I just did a couple of 22s to move it over about 10 feet. So that's pretty nice. Then we got our 1/2-inch line that's going to go back up right next to there, and that's for the aerator. The aerator is going to sit over by the house, and what that does, you see it's got a couple of holes poked in it, and what that's going to do is it's just going to allow air to bubble up inside that tank and allow aerobic bacteria to eat up all the sludge and poo-poo that goes in there, and that reduces how much, like sludge, it reduces it, so you don't have to get your tank pumped out as often. So that's pretty great. Moving on, our 4-inch line comes in. We got a 90 that drops it down into there. We got our hose running right now because we got to fill this tank up. If we don't fill it up and it rains, the groundwater will actually cause this tank to lift up out the ground, and that's a big problem. And as far as the last phase, We're digging the trench for the tail line going out to the ditch off there in the woods. So I'm about to put this cap back on, take this cap off, hook up the internals that are over here. Those internals are pretty simple, but also pretty ingenious. We have this double T contraption. You see there's a T on top and a T on bottom. So this T, it sits in the tank, right? And this is where the water goes out. Boom, so there's a pipe there. This right here, you can look in the top. You take that cap off and you can see if water's flowing out. That's a nice little feature. And the bottom is where the water inflows. So as the level in the tank comes up, it also comes up inside of this tube, and then once it reaches this point, it drains out. And what this does, instead of just having a straight piece of pipe in there, all the floating stuff that's floating around in there is called scum. It can't just drain out because it sources the water from beneath the water level to come up and out. Interesting little thing. It's pretty genius, honestly, and it's just 2 T's. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this popped in there while he's digging that. All right, so we're all done here. Normally I would get this a little bit smoother, but as you can see, this machine's just leaving tracks everywhere, and it's also getting late. And also, once they pour the concrete, which hopefully will be on Friday of this week, I'll probably be coming out here next week to wreck the forms, and I'm gonna bring my skid steer out to help with that and moving some things around. And I can use the skid steer to very quickly and efficiently smooth all this stuff out very, very well. We got to clean out after the tank, a clean out before the tank. We got our aerator line set up, and then this is running all the way out there to a ditch. Let's see what today's fuel bill is. 5 gallons, $26. It's not too bad. Worked kind of late today. That's part of the job, I guess. All right, well, I just greased up this machine, so it's good to go for Tyler in the morning. Here's the property that he's going to be working on tomorrow. I just got some piles of dirt laying around this area that just got dug out. Probably can't see anything on this video really, but anywho, he's gonna be out here tomorrow spreading a bunch of dirt around with the excavator. Beautiful place out here. See, they got the load of dirt already on site. We're gonna rip out that fence over there, that wooden stuff that's rotted out. We're gonna clean up everything we can on this fence line, pile it up over here so we can load it into the dump truck when it comes. We're gonna take some of this mulch and whatnot, bring it over here because this spot holds water. Try to get this to slope across the yard and dig a little swell ditch going out that way. And then they're gonna bring a load of sand that will drop right here and spread around for a swimming pool. The very first thing that I need to do is come over here and spread this dirt around this tree. I feel like we got more dirt than we need, but actually coming to kind of look at this, they want me to cover up these roots. I don't like doing that. It's not really good for the tree, but that's what they want. So I gotta put a little dirt over all these roots. I guess it is a pretty big area. More roots over here, roots there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with that. What's that they say? Daylight's burning. so I was driving through right here and the water line busted. Let's see what's going on. There's a 3/4 inch T with a 45 on it going to here, and that broke. I had an emergency resupply come in, so now I have all the fittings that I need to repair this water line. I also managed to cut my finger, so I gave myself a little in the field band-aid. So let's see if I can make haste and repair this real quick. Alright, so we got the sand spread for the pool. We got a little bit of sand over there on the side. All that's dressed up. And we got our little swell ditch coming through here. I kind of graded this down just a little bit, so hopefully that water will just drain off through there. The last thing I got to do is grab this tree, bring it out, and in the front here we got all the roots on the tree covered, which not a big proponent of that because apparently that causes root rot, but that's what they wanted. You can still see like there's some spots where the roots are just poking through just a little bit, but I guess that'll make it easier for them to cut the grass and not hit the roots with the lawnmower blade, so I don't really know which is worse. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm about to wrap this up and head to the next job. We've got to pull that tree out and make sure that this water doesn't leak. Yep, that's it. So we just got out here to the second job. It's like probably 3:30 right now. Let's walk this all out with the homeowner. We got these 4 big loads of dirt that we're gonna turn into a trailer pad. And then we're also gonna have a little like 20-foot parking area that tapers into this driveway. Besides that, I gotta move these this burnt up tree and whatnot and knock that tree down and go set that on a burn pile in the back. Got our roll of tape right here, our measuring wheel. Need to make sure that this pad is 60 by 80. Start on the property line. Get that reset. We're gonna see how much distance we have right here. Concerned that where he wants the trailer or the trailer pad to be is pretty much gonna end up putting it like in the ditch or the road. We're at 80 feet. We're still rolling. And right here, yeah, 99, 100 feet. All right, I'm gonna reset it and go back. All right. 80. Boom, right in line with the sewer. Exactly where he wanted it. So the front of the trailer would be right here where I'm standing, and that's 80 feet that way. So it's pretty much done. I'm gonna just run over it a few more times, clean up the edge a little bit, square off this parking area, and yeah, I'll be out of here. So I'm all done here. We have this parking area that tapers in from the existing driveway. Comes up to here. It's about a 20-foot wide area, and it's about 40 feet long coming in this way. So plenty of room to park 2 cars. And then here's our 16 by 80 pad. So it's 80 feet long starting right here. And it's actually wider than 16 feet. It's closer to 20 all the way down. And it's just slightly turtle back so the water will run off of it. This is what you want for your mobile home. Got it nice and tracked in around the edges. A little bit of loose dirt in some spots. For the most part, you can see this nice and tracked in. Just squish all that dirt in there so it doesn't like to roll off and you don't have too many loose clumps making it look untidy. This is it, man. This is money right here. Happy customer. Happy me. Everyone's happy. So happy, in fact, that instead of $750, he paid me $800. Look at that. I got a $50 tip. That'll help pay for the expensive $5.39 diesel that I'm having to purchase right now. So appreciate you, Kevin. Always looking out. And tomorrow morning, got to go back over to Miss Susan's house. We got a pump truck showing up at 5:30 in the morning. We got like, what was it, 9 truckloads of concrete coming. And then I got to go finish, once we get done with that, I got to go spend a little bit of time at that other job with the mini excavator where Tyler was today. So another eventful day for tomorrow. Nice size shower right there. All right, we're out at Miss Susan's house this morning. Had to get up early, come out, set some lights, which it's getting daylight out now. It's like 6:30. I think the first concrete truck just got here. They're setting their grade nails in all the way around, so when they pour the concrete, it can be level. Things remote control? Man, you got the funnest job on the planet, huh? Yeah, putting them footers in quick. A one-man job. Jesse, this your favorite job right here or what? This your favorite?
I do it. I'll do it all the time.
I mean, this looks easy.
Yeah.
Compared to having to, you know, rake it and pull it. So the first 2 loads, maybe 3, is just going to be gray concrete, uncolored. But Jay's got like 500 pounds of pigment in the back of his truck, so they're going to start mixing it in the concrete trucks as it comes in. And so it's actually going to be khaki. I thought it was going to be blue, but it's going to be khaki colored concrete that this is going to be pigmented with. But we just don't need the color in the footers. All right. There's the boom truck. It's like a 200-foot boom. It's crazy. Yeah, LSU colors. That's the home team. He says it's a medium-sized pump truck right here. Medium. I want to see a big one now. I thought this was a big one. You just keep it coming in and pumping it?
Yeah. Not going right.
I thought he was gonna hop in the seat. I guess he wants to drive down there. Yeah, he's funny. So we're gonna come down here to truck number 4. So the first 3 trucks, all the concrete's going in the footer, so we're just doing gray concrete on that. truck number 4, we're gonna go ahead and get him mixing this like tan or khaki pigment in there, so when they're finishing up the footers and they start pouring the concrete that's gonna be on the surface, it's gonna be like tan khaki color. This is really exciting. One big, one little, we throw the whole bag in there. Yeah, Alabama pigment, khaki. Now it's got to stir and mix for 15 minutes. We'll see what color it comes out. That's cool. Pigment. Now we have pigmented concrete coming out. Kind of hard to tell, but you can see the difference. That's the pigment, and that's the gray concrete in the footers. So I'm really curious to see how this looks once it starts actually drying and getting smoothed out. Alright, so we got 8 trucks on the ground. All of the house pad is poured. They're floating it now. And we're about to start pouring the back porch. Yeah. So we'll have an anchor on this side of the stake, and we got a roll-up door from there to here, and we got another anchor. Alright, so I'm over here at the second job of the day, and I spent a few hours out here after we got done with the concrete. The goal was to move these piles of mud here back up closer to the house and spread them around a little bit, and same thing on that side. That side went really well. That all worked really well. It was super wet, and the skid steer they had come out was sinking, so all we did was pull the dirt back up because my business partner Jordan had come through here and mucked out this entire area here and just piled the dirt up on the bank. So we pulled the dirt back up that bank so it can dry out and the skid steer can come later and finish it up. Now on this side, I actually came in from over there and I was able to pull a large pile of dirt, that area in the middle. I was able to pull all that back and pile some up over here, but then on my way out I got stuck, so I had turned around and plowed forward all the way to here and had to have a dump truck come help pull me out. So this was a bit of a mess, but at the end I smoothed that off, went around to the other side, smoothed that off best I could, but it's just much too wet to actually get in here and do much of anything. So this is gonna have to dry out so that we can come back and finish pulling all of this dirt back away from there. So have another day in the future to come back over here and work and finish this project for them, and then maybe a half day on the skid steer just to smooth everything out, but that will be a future project. As far as today, I just collected $1,200 from her, from these clients, because Tyler came out here for about 4 hours yesterday, and then I spent another 4 hours out here today. So that was the $1,200 that was collected for what was supposed to be yesterday's work. So nothing extra on this one for today. Check out how absolutely disgusting and muddy the mini excavator is. Isn't that wild? This whole thing is just like got a big clump of mud on it. You can see how deep I was. I was all the way up to here. And the exhaust, man, I could hear the exhaust struggling to get out when it was like sunk in the mud. Oh man, chunks of this mud's coming off on the tracks while I'm driving. Buckets all muddy. Yeah, this thing's just a mess, so I'm gonna have fun cleaning that this weekend. So that's my whole week in a nutshell, and that's how I profited $6,500 for all of the jobs that we did. And I hope that next week is an even better week than this week.